Jack.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm good. Just got my day started and I'm in here in rainy California, which is unusual.
Well, last time I was in LA, we were there for like 5 days, and I think it rained on 4 of them.
Yeah, that happens to so many people when they come to California.
I'm like,
On
it
a
was my
whim.
wife's first time. Like, I used to live in LA for a little bit, and it was my wife's first time in California. And I was like, this is not like what it's normally like. Like we were
Yeah,
on the
that's
beach, we were on the beach where they filmed Baywatch, and the
uh,
rain was like hammering down. I'm like, you didn't see this on Baywatch, did you?
you almost
But
feel like you're cursed when that happens.
it means we got to go back sometime. That's for sure. You're at home right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is home. This is the studio, but this
with the
is it.
black
As you can
flag,
see. What's that?
with the black flag lines.
That, you know what? I didn't even realize that, but I think that could be what it means. I think I might tell people that from now on.
Yeah.
They're just my sound panels. Put them in a certain order. But that is
Oh,
isn't that the Black Flag logo?
I'm not sure if it's exact, but look, that's what I assumed it was.
It looks pretty close. I didn't even realize that.
There you go. You're
That's what I'm
cooler
going to
than you
tell people.
thought.
Yeah, exactly. Look at that.
So you have a bit of downtime just before the album drops.
I wish we did, but the live set has been just as much work as writing and recording the songs is learning how to perform them properly and getting them to sound good. So
Okay.
we've had no downtime, unfortunately.
No, you're not going to get any coming up either. Looks like you
No.
got a busy schedule, like with
Yeah.
the touring and stuff.
We leave in 2 weeks and we're gone for a couple months. And then we come home for a few weeks and then we're gone for another couple months. So yeah, it's a long one.
Do you like being out on the road?
I love it. I love it. I think as of now, at least, we're all sort of built for it. We've dreamed about it our whole lives and our whole career as a band. We really didn't get to do the touring full time until a few years ago when we started to get some bigger opportunities. So I think that's still fresh in our minds and we're just so grateful for it as a result.
Nice. Well, the album drops this week on Friday, 26th. How does it feel in this period between, obviously the album's been finished for a while, like, and you've released a few tracks that like half the album people have heard already, but you still have these tracks waiting to drop. How do you feel just before it comes out and you just like, people haven't heard it in full, but there's the anticipation?
You know, we've been rehearsing so much that I haven't had a chance to think about it. And you just asking me right now has just sent a wave of emotions over me. You're the
Okay.
first person to tell me that. And now I'm thinking about it and it's scary because I like to say I don't care what people think, but I do. I'm a human being. So I'm I'm more excited than nervous, but I am nervous because we pour so much of ourselves into these songs. You know, we don't let a single lyric go without all of us being okay with it. A single note go without. Most things are unanimous. A few things are compromised, but most things are unanimous. So that takes a lot of energy, emotional energy, to commit to every song being perfect, that kind of thing. So, in my opinion, they're as almost as good as they could get for what we're capable of at the moment. So that's why it makes me nervous, you know.
Oh, TikTok is about to drop. So with Axiom, do you class that as an album or is that more of an EP? Because it's somewhere in the middle.
We classify the exclamation point album, which I call album number 1. We classify that as our first album. And we were strategic about everything we released prior to that first album was an EP. So we consider Axiom an EP, Dempsey an EP, and everything prior to it an EP.
Okay, so on this album, what did you learn from the last album that helped you on this album?
Well, we learned so much. We learned that we wanted to take the production quality up a notch. That was a big thing that we could foresee right at the end. Yeah. Oh, thank you.
It sounds like it's made for arenas, this song, this album.
Yeah, and you know, we love our our collective influences are these are big arena bands, so that makes sense. You know, it's the Queens of the Stone Age, the Foo Fighters. We still love those bands, and you know that's the sound we love. So we want it to be as big as it can be without having to blast it. You know, even though I still blast it. You can only, I think, learn after you've finished it, really. So we learned after the first album, I did, that I wanted to, you know, dive a little deeper into the lyrics and strengthen the melodies and the songwriting and the production. So, and that's hard. That was hard to do. We try to do it every single time we release something. I'm sure we learned a lot more, but those are the big umbrella things.
This is a very diverse album. Like it kind of comes in with different musical styles all over the place, but it feels very cohesive as well. Was
Thank
that
you.
was that a deliberate ploy when you started like thinking about this album that you wanted to do that? You wanted to keep it quite a mixed bag of sounds.
Yeah, I like to think we've always done that. There have been a couple EPs, I think, where we didn't have a super diverse range of songs, but basically when we're writing songs, we have a big, you know, just like everybody else, we have a big database of it, basically, of all the things that we want to work on, and we just go with whatever we gravitate towards. And so we all love so many different styles of music. So if something is more poppy or softer or harder or edgier or scarier, we just lean into anything that makes us feel something different and something powerful, you know. So it's one of our values, I think, as a band, is to just lean into what feels good, no matter what it sounds like.
At what point in the process do you think about how the songs sit next to each other on the record, like the actual track list?
That's after everything has been recorded and mixed. So we had a few months to go back and forth on that, and everybody has their own track listing, and we send them to each other, and then we revise it, revise it, and we get angry, and we get passionate, and then eventually we go, okay, that one's it. And I think Dylan, our bass player, came up with the final track listing. I had one to begin with, and Jack had one, Will had one, Dylan had the final one, which was like, let's do this and this and this. And it's just, you know, you got to listen to it top to bottom over and over and over to know really what the right order is. And it can feel like sometimes things are missing as you're recording the album. You go, is this really going to be a full album? But I'm pretty happy with where the track listing ended up.
You've released 6 songs so far.
Is it 6, 5 or 6? I can't. Maybe it is 6.
What's the thought process when it comes to choosing which ones to go out and when?
So we have a pretty big team now with the record label and our manager and the band, the 4 of us. We ultimately have the final say, but you know, being in a band nowadays is such a collaborative process with whoever you're working with, and you got to take everybody's feelings into account, everybody's opinions into account. So the label really wanted to push for certain singles, and we fought back against some of them, and some of them we said, okay, yeah, that's fine. And ultimately we wrote all the songs, and we didn't compromise at all on any of the songs for anybody else. So it was easier to say, okay, you want this to be a single, that's fine. I don't think it's the strongest song, but you know, we did write it. All the songs are going out anyway. So there were a couple, you know, and each of us have our own really personal favorite, I think. So it was tough to decide for us which singles were the right ones to go out. But you know, at the end of the day, they're all coming out at the end of the day. So, and I trust our fans to seek out the best ones that I think are there.
Which one that hasn't been released so far are you most excited for people to hear?
That I don't know. I think that's up to, you know, the listener, and I don't know if that's for me to decide, but you know, I go through each day. I have a different favorite song off the album. So I'm not the most trustworthy person on that, you know.
What is it today?
It depends on my mood. There's a song that's coming out on the album called Coet, which features the fretless guitar quite a bit, which is something that I play a lot of the time. And I'm really excited for people to hear that one, because I think that one is really different, and it's really different from what's out there, but it's also sort of, it feels like a good evolution of one aspect of our sound that I'm really excited for people to hear.
Can you talk to me about the album cover? It's very specific, like very minimal. What's the meaning behind it?
We're very how do I say this? We're very vibe based. I wish there was a more intricate word for that, but we, much like the first album cover that we had, we collect images online. We look for things all over the internet. When we're outside, we're looking around, and we had a batch of different photos and ideas that all of us were interested in to represent the feeling of the music that we had created so far. And this particular album cover that we used was a photo from a friend of ours who's an amateur photographer, still a really great photographer. He had taken a photo of the statue when he was on a vacation, and I pulled it from his Instagram and I showed everybody, and it just clicked with everybody. They said, this is what it feels like, the album. So we had him go up to Portland, Oregon, and recreate the photo, take another few photos of it, see if we could get a different, more high fidelity version of it. And it worked. And it's just, for us, it's all about just the image and listening to the music and seeing if they connect. And once those connect, then we can put more pieces together and sort of create the atmosphere around it.
So the album drops on Friday, and you say you've got a lot of touring coming up, festivals in the summer?
Yes. Quite a few. They're starting to stack up.
If you could go on tour opening for one band, who would you choose?
Foo Fighters. It's just yeah. That's the moment, you know.
Well, these songs can fill an arena for sure. So let's hope you get out there with Dave and the boys. And that worked pretty well. But yeah, I just want to say thank you for your time, and good luck with everything that's coming up. Sounds like it's going to be a busy year for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're excited.
Thanks, Jack, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Okay, thanks. You too.
I can't ignore. I came so